Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Owl Show on BKS1 Radio. It is your girl, Latoya Chanel, and I am here by the grace and mercy of God, universe, whatever it is you believe in. I am here. I am not in studio tonight. I am still home, but as you know, with a lot of jobs and a lot of things that's going on in the workplace, you know, we just want to make sure that everyone is safe, and we want to make sure that there are no issues. You know, we are technically still in a pandemic, whatever you want to call it, whether you believe in it or not, we are still in something, whatever it is. So I am still home. I am not in the studio as of yet, but I did not want to miss out on doing a show. So I am doing it from my home office, as you guys have seen right now for almost the last, what has it been, 2 years at this particular point. So I am making sure that I still try to give you guys some content and still try to have those very real conversations that we have. So, you know, again, I'm not in studio, but I'm here and I am with you guys. So first and foremost, I want to know, and I want all of you to talk to me. So anyone who is, you know, watching right now, thank you, number one. But number two, I want to know, how are you guys doing? I'm just setting up over here on my other laptop so that I can see all of your comments if need be. But in the meantime, I want to know, how are you all doing? Like, what's going on with you? How are you feeling? This is really just like a mental health check-in right now. I actually posted that. I believe it was like less than a week or so. It was a mental check-in for everybody because this is a rough time. So even historically speaking, this time period after the holidays, and everybody knows that the holidays are usually a very hard time for most people anyway. It's not always happy and glorious like most people think it's supposed to be. A lot of people get down and get extremely depressed. But this time period, statistically speaking, like even coming from a marketing aspect, between mid-January to mid-February is an extremely depressing time for most people. There's not too much going on. You're kind of in the middle of a holiday. In the middle of holidays, you just finished one, you haven't quite got to the other. It's the beginning of the year. It's the 18th. It's the time period where if you had any kind of New Year's resolutions or goals, you have definitely broken them by now, because typically people who make New Year's resolutions, they typically only last for about 3 weeks or so, is what I'm told. So at this point in time, the resolutions are done. You're already feeling bad about yourself. If you live in the Northeast, it's already cold outside. And, you know, or in the North anywhere, it's already cold outside. It's getting darker longer. There's just more of a reason to feel down, more of a reason to feel depressed. And so unfortunately, we are in the midst of that time period, and it's really just beginning, unfortunately. But you know, I created that post because I just really honestly wanted to check in with everybody and ask, how are you doing? There's just a lot going on still, and I know this has just been an ongoing theme, you know, for the last, you know, 2 years or so, between my partner and I, Miss Queen B, who is living her best life and doing all that she needs to do for herself and for her family. We love you and we miss you right now. But our conversations for the last 2 years honestly have just been, how are you? How are you doing? Are you okay? And, we talk about the loss, and we talk about the hard times. We talk about the struggle. And again, as I've say on a weekly basis, that's not for everybody. For some, this has been a great time period. People are thriving and growing, and and for others, honestly, it's been a struggle. It has honestly been a struggle for a lot of people. And for some, it didn't start out as a struggle, and it is now. And for some, it was a struggle then, and now they feel like they're in a clear, they're in a breeze. It's a brand new year, and they are, just doing something different, feeling something different, right? Right? Because sometimes it doesn't matter what we do, and sometimes it just matters like how we feel while we're doing it, because we can be doing great things and not feel good about it. So, or vice versa, but you guys know what I mean. So in the meantime, right now, like I said, I want to know how you guys are doing, and definitely talk back to me in the chat. And like, that's why I got this laptop over here that you guys can't see, so I can see, some of your comments come in as we start tonight's discussion. But I'm taking a deep breath before I go into this topic, because it's a very deep topic, and I honestly want to go in a little more, as we always do. I want to go in a little more on relationships and love, and the dynamic of adult love, and finding adult mature love, later on in life, and what that's like. And I really want to delve into that a little more in February. So that's really in the next couple of weeks. We got this show, the next show, and then we're in February. And then on a weekly basis, I just want to go into different topics, and have different guests on the show, have some guys on the show for a male perspective, have some more ladies on the show, just so that we can really do a deep dive into exactly what's going on. But before we have those particular shows, God, I just want to talk about some more things that are going on. So I have had multiple conversations just in the last few weeks. I have had multiple conversations on us, the ladies. I'm specifically going to just talk about Black women. So, I mean, if that excludes anyone from this conversation tonight, let me apologize in advance, and I am giving the disclaimer. I just want to talk about Black women tonight. Again, fellas, if you're here, please chime in. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about certain things. But I just want to talk about Black women right now. All right, sisters, y'all here? Y'all here? Sisters, y'all here? Y'all here? Okay. What are we doing? I'm gonna ask the question again. What are we doing? Somebody help me with this. What are we doing? Because it's not looking good. And if it's not looking good on the inside, I know good and daggone well it don't look good from the outside. Now, I will say this. I know a lot of times we get a bad rap, and fellas, to our brethren, we love you. We hold you up. We stand by your side. We hold you down. We're there for you. We're loving. We're nurturing, this, that, and other. Blah 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 blah. A lot of times, unfortunately, and there may be some who will argue me on this, but a lot of Black men are a judge and jury. So there are a lot of times where we get a bad rap, and it is what it is, and we get a bad rap, and it's necessarily coming from what I believe is a skewed place. But we're going to go into that part of it a little later on. Like I said, we're going to go into that part in February because I would not want to have that portion of this Black people, we need to get it together conversation without our counterparts. You know what I mean? Because that would be unfair, and it would really just be me going in on a rant for no particular reason. So that's why I said I want to talk to the sisters tonight. And I'm saying again, what are we doing? I had to pause, as the Bible does, you know, when you say Selah for reflection, you know. And anybody who doesn't know the Bible, when it says Selah, that means pause, breathe, reflect. You let it get deep down into your spirit. Think about it, you know. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. And why do I ask that question? I've had multiple conversations just in the last week or so in regards to how we're moving with men, how we're moving in regards to love, how we are acting and responding, and things we're doing, and our standards, and what we're standing for, what we're not standing for, yada 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 yada. And ladies, it's not looking good. I'm gonna just come out and say it. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. And I feel like we need to have a kitchen table conversation. I feel like we need to all get together in a room, and we need to be like, all right, look, what's going on? What's going on? Why are we doing this? Why are we making certain decisions? Why are we doing certain things? What is leading here? Is it pride that's leading? Is it insecurity that's leading? Is it ego that's leading? Is it what is it that's leading while we are making a lot of decisions that we are making? What are you saying? Can I sneak in, listen? Of course you can. Of course you can listen in and chime in too in the comments. Mimi says, doing well, just tired, completely over the pandemic. Absolutely. Thank you guys for your comments. But, you know, for the conversation, sisters, what are we doing? Why are we making some of the decisions that we are making? And this has nothing to do with the fellas right now. I'm strictly talking to us. We know what their issues are. We know what their issues are. And as a matter of fact, like I said, in the month of February, when we have a cohesive conversation with our counterparts, we are going to talk about said issues. But as for right now, ladies, I want to talk to us. I want to get us together. And not because I'm an expert. Oh, let me get that right. Not because I am any sort of expert, but strictly because I just have the platform to be able to do so. That's it. That's it. And I'm observant enough to know that we ain't doing so hot. I'm observant enough to recognize the elephant in the room. And ladies, some of us are the elephant. Like, I don't even know how to say it. I don't know how else to say it. This is not a woman bashing. This isn't a Black woman bashing, because I am one. I am out here. You know, so, you know, I see the world. I know what's going on. I'm out here enough where I can see what's going on, know what's going on, feel what's going on. And at the end of the day, woosah. I'm gonna ask the question again to my sisters. What are we doing? It's 2022. Many of us are aunties. Many of us are very successful in business. Many of us don't want to, some of us are okay being alone. Some of us don't want to be alone. So for those of us that don't want to be alone and are striving to have relationships with the opposite sex, how are we going about doing that? Hey guys who are just joining. Okay, so like, hi guys who are just joining. I got Dre joining, I got Ish joining, I got a bunch of you guys just joining in right now and talking to me in the chat. So when I'm talking about what are we doing, I'm talking about for those of us who want to be in relationships, because that's not everybody, and I'm very aware of that. For those of us who want to be in relationships and are dating or are serial monogamists, some of the choices and the decisions that we are making, and then not understanding why things are not necessarily working out. So that's what I want to talk about right now. And like I said, I don't want to necessarily talk about the fellas, because as a Black woman, you know, I love all of my brothers. You know, I'm raising brothers. I'm with a brother. Today is my father's birthday. May he rest in peace. I was actually, raised in the same household as my dad. And, you know, so I you can't say, oh, she got daddy issues. Is that no. That's not my story. That's not my case. So my question is, just for us, just for the ladies, just for the sisters, some of the decisions that we're making, and then wondering why things aren't working with the opposite sex. So let's go through this here, because I want to break it down detail for detail, right? So question number one that I feel like we can ask ourselves, right? Why do you want to be in a relationship? Now, we can go into genetics. We can go into that's the natural order of things, this, that, and the other, because we know that that's what it is. You have man, you have woman, all other races of people don't have to ask these questions. I get it. But as a Black woman right now, why do you want to be in a relationship? If you're late 30s, early 40s, maybe in your 50s, maybe in your 60s, what is your reasoning for wanting to be in a relationship? That's my question number one. So while, you know, everyone mulls that over, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into some of our comments here. Dre, I'm not a woman, but I think it's depression. All right, Dre. Okay. Dre thinks it's depression. Ish, give me some examples so women will understand and be able to answer. Okay. All right. So I'm doing that. Question number one. Our issues are y'all. You women allow us to do everything we do. Ooh, Trey, you going in tonight, huh? Okay. Like I said, we definitely want to have the fellas on to give us some perspective and some points of view. Starting in the month of February. So I wasn't necessarily going into all of that right now, but I hear you. Hey, Denise, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Gray, can I say yes? Mr. Gray, can I sneak in, listen? Yes. And hey, Jamila, yes. Okay. So for those ladies who are desire to be in a relationship at whatever phase or stage you are in, my first question is why? And this is all just to get us somewhere, to get us to a place of understanding. So I'm just starting off with this question. Do you want to because you feel like it looks good? Do you want to because you feel like it's the natural order of things? Which, you know, it is. Does it feel like do you want to because you feel like it's the natural next step in your life? Do you want to because you feel like you have achieved everything else and you've been successful in everything else, and so now you feel like having a mate or a partner is, you know, kind of completes the picture of your circle? Is it that your belief in family, morals, and values, and you know, you want to live right, or you want to have this complete family circle? Is it because you feel like it looks good? For some ladies, do you want to because it says you always can get a man? I asked the question because, you know, depending upon our answer, that leads us down different paths, right? And I feel like, you know, everybody's answer is going to be different. everybody's answer for why they want to be in a relationship right now, or why they want to commit a relationship or a marriage is going to be different. It seems like, it would be logical, that everybody would have the same answers, but that's not necessarily going to be the case. Everybody is different. Everybody has different experiences. Everybody has a different background, so it's going to be different. Watching from the outside, fear is the issue. Fear of hurt, fear of starting over, fear of settling, fear of being alone. So they jump too soon and accept too much. Fear of losing themselves. Again, fear of giving too much and paralyzing themselves in the process. What she said. Okay. That's what some of the issues are. Ish, I hear you. I completely understand what you're saying, and I hear you. So, because I'm trying to dissect this here, everybody. So to go through why some people want to be in relationships, again, there are a number of reasons. Now, I feel like after you ask yourself why you want to be in a relationship, I think the next question should honestly be, what kind of relationship do I want to be in? And that's going to look different for everybody. So shout out to our relationship coach Trev, who will come on the show every year, usually around this time, and I plan on having him in February. And we talk about what people call is a love blueprint, right? So what love looks like to you, obviously using your love languages and understanding the love languages of your partner. What does your love blueprint look like? How do you express love? How do you show, how do you feel love, all of those things. So what does a relationship look like to you? Now, that question is, I feel like, when you're hearing stories and people be like, and that's when it hit the fan, you know what I mean? I feel like that question alone is where a lot is going to hit the fan. Why? Because what a healthy relationship looks like is going to look different to everyone. Everyone. No matter what man you're going to be in a relationship with, a healthy relationship to him is going to look different to a woman who maybe feels like a healthy relationship is one thing, and it really could be that to her, but not necessarily to any man. I'm going to say this, and this is strictly to my sisters. Whew, child. It is okay for your husband or your partner to be your best friend, but he is not one of the girls. Like, I don't know. He is not one of the girls. He is not one of the girls. And actually, in fact, you need girls. Woo. Oh, I don't know. I might get some backlash on this one, everybody. You need your girls. I don't know how else to say it. You need your girls. When you're in a relationship, you need your girls. You need somebody to bounce stuff off before you run and say it to him. And that's not telling your business. That's not telling your business. That is a trusted source. That is a trusted person, because you do not have the answers to everything. You are not going to be right about everything. And sometimes if you're strictly going off of emotion, what's going to happen is you are going to say and do things that can be damaging to your relationship. So if you have that trusted person that is going to be non-biased, that you can potentially, that you believe is level-headed, understands the dynamics of a relationship, is happy for you, is happy for your partner, not somebody that's going to be, planting seeds of destruction for your relationship, but somebody that you really trust, that you can bounce things off. Like, let me run this past you real quick before I say this. Let me run this past you real quick before I do this. You know what I mean? And you and your man can be best friends. Y'all could do everything together. Y'all could go here. Y'all could go there. Y'all can have every single kind of conversation that y'all supposed to have under the sun, under the eyes of God, this, that, or the other. But my sole belief, and these are strictly the opinions of Latoya Chanel of BKS1 Radio and the House Show, and it has nothing to do with that of BKS1 Radio itself and what they stand for. I believe that you should have girlfriends. You should not be cutting off all your girls just because you got into a relationship. Oops, did I say that? You should not be cutting off all of your friends when you get into a new relationship. I'm going to say that again. 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 And I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. You should not be cutting off the world just because you are in a new relationship. Oh, I wish my show partner was here so that we could talk about this, because we this is something we definitely talk about all the time. You can't do that. I'm sorry. You cannot do that. That is not healthy. I don't agree with it. For people that do it, more power to you. But it is definitely not something that I agree with. So that to me is choice number one. One thing that we are trying to do. One thing that I'm noticing that a lot of us are doing. It's almost like the relationship is the next level, and so now because I'm in it, I can be different from you, or almost on another level from you, and I'm just different or almost better than. Has anybody else experienced this? No? Or done it yourself? No? Or it's just me? Whatever. Let me read some comments to you, and then we're going to keep going with this discussion. So let me go back. Oh, God, you guys are talking. Where is it? Here we go. Aisha, we are definitely coming back to you from saying watching from the outside fear is one of the issues. Gaston. She said hush joy. Jamila, the pandemic taught me a few things. One of them is that being alone is lonely. Can you say that? I got it before, but I really understood it after the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I could focus on other things, social life, etc., on my own. After sitting alone for weeks and months, I realized a mate isn't that bad. Can we can just talk about that comment all night. We could talk about that comment all night. I don't even have to say anything else. I only got a half an hour left of the show. We could talk about strictly just that all night long, because we can talk about exactly what is going on. We could talk about exactly what is going on in our communities and why so many of us are really just coming to the conclusions that we really just want to be by ourselves. But you know, and if that is your choice, that is your choice. But for a lot of us, that is happening, and we don't want it to be, but not understanding why it is. So again, we could talk about that all night. Let me get to the next comment. Ish said, that's a very subjective question. Some want companionship, some want to check a box. Ish, and that is my point. That is my point. A lot of us are trying to check boxes nowadays. A lot of us, our blueprints, our goals in life that we're not going to let nobody keep us from getting, and we don't achieve this at work, achieve this with home, did this with family, did this with our children already. And now we're at the end of this goal taking list. And now it's, oh, well, let me just add a mate to it. It don't work like that. But as you said, some want to check a box. Some want stability, right? Some want financial security. Some want to please those around them. Some want to build a life with someone. Yep. Some want someone to have a family they never had. Some want to prove their worth. Some want to find their worth. Woo! You preaching in chat, my girl. Man, evangelist. Some want physical security. Some want a friend. I agree. Gaston. My girl, I'm my girl's best friend, but I'm definitely not one of the girls. Okay, exactly. And you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be. Dre, Does that go for me too? Because I don't want to cut off my girlfriends because I got in a relationship. Dre, shut up. Okay? Shut up. I'm not doing this with you tonight. Ish says, a lot of people cross that line in relationships and forget that they both need positive friends who can pour into them and their relationships equally. And that's it. And that's it. And that is all I'm saying. This is an equal part. This is an equal part get it together type thing that I'm talking about here. To have that healthy life, to have that healthy family moving forward, you can't put so much pressure on your partner. You guys understand what I'm saying? Whether it's male to female, female to male, female to female, male to male, whatever the relationship is, you can't put that much pressure on your partner to only be concerned about you and all of your thoughts and all of your feelings and all of your emotions all the time. And females, if it's something from a female side of it, and I didn't even know what color to paint my nails, and you got to tell your man this, you got to tell your man that, and if he decided he wanted to talk to you, and again, this is just really gender specific, so if I'm offending anyone, I do apologize, but if he wanted to talk to you about carburetors all day, or for those women who aren't into football, which, you know, I am, and I was really happy to see the Cowboys lose on Sunday. But anyway, if he wanted to talk to you about football all day, or if he wanted, you know what I mean? Like typical male stuff like that. You know what I mean? You need your outside people in order to balance you. And when it balances you, it balances your relationship. Am I going somewhere with this? Like, am I going somewhere with this? Okay. All right, whatever. So anyway, we got question number 1. Why do you want to be in a relationship? And then we got question number 2. What does a healthy relationship look like to you? What does a healthy relationship look like to you? Because again, that is going to be different for everyone, right? I'm breathing in between these steps because again, like I said, I want to talk to my sisters and I want to get some things clear at the beginning of the year, and we'll continue on with the conversation because there are things that we honestly really and truly need to be working out. Maybe some things that we all need to think about. You guys help me think about some things, and hopefully I can help you all think about some things. But what does a healthy relationship look like? So you guys know I have friends I have male friends, I have female friends, I have friends all over in all different walks of life. This list that we have, ladies. So with what a healthy relationship looks like, here comes in the list. The list of everything that you want in a relationship that somebody in some sermon said that you need to ask God for, put it in the Bible and pray over it. And then you're going to get all these characteristics in a man, and then everything is going to be perfect. And then he's going to be like this and treat you like this and act like this. And it's going to look like this and that list. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that list, and I want to talk about what you're putting on that particular list. So I'm asking the question: what are you putting on this list? The things that you're putting on the list, is it realistic? And I'm not talking, I'm not even getting to the point where I'm talking about we got to settle, we got to this, that, or the other. I'm just talking about, is it realistic? For some of us, we are of a certain age. We have sons who are dating. We have sons who are in relationships. Is this something that your son could do for another female? I'm just asking, is it realistic? Is it something that any human being would want to do? Or do you feel like it's a part of your love language, so you're listing it and now you're leading with it in dating and then wondering why things aren't necessarily going the way you want them to? I'm just asking the questions. Maybe we should start reviewing this list. Especially, as Jamila was saying, after a pandemic. Maybe we can revamp this list to recognize what really and truly is important, and maybe recognize what we really do need, what our actual needs are in a partner, in a mate. Because at some point in time in 2020, all of us thought the world was ending, right? I mean, for those that believed we were in pandemic, there's a ton of people that didn't believe that we were in anything. It was a plandemic. You know what I mean? But for those of us who saw people dropping like flies around us and actually maybe lost somebody ourselves in the midst of that, it kind of just felt like we weren't getting out of it. And it kind of just felt like, oh my God, I need to make certain choices and decisions for my life, because who knows if this is the end or not. So with all of that being said, did it change your perspective a bit on what's necessary to actually be in a relationship? And as Jamila was saying in here, actually having a mate, did it change a little bit? I was talking to a guy friend a little earlier today, and I hope he does not I hope that he does not get mad at me for sharing this story, because I'm not sharing any names or anything like that. But he was talking about dating a young lady. Well, she's a woman of a certain age. We're all over 40 at this point. And he was talking about how she is newly divorced, and how she wants to date, and she has this list of qualifications that you have to have, and how she wants to date, but you can't come to her house. She doesn't want any male energy within her home, but she is also upset because he goes out to watch football with his friends and doesn't want to come to her house. I'm gonna say that again. If you were confused. She is a woman of a certain age. She is over 40. She is dating now for the first time after being married for 20 some odd years. And in her dating, she has a list with these qualifications that she desires to have in a man in order to be happy. She feels like she's settled for too long and she's not doing that anymore. And so therefore, she wants to date, but you're definitely not coming to her house. She doesn't want any male energy in her house. Fine, that's whatever. But she is also mad when she's dating and men are going out watching football and not desiring to come to her house. I said it twice. So I said it twice. So if you didn't get it the first time, hopefully you got what I said the second time. And that's just the most recent story that I've heard my sisters for a lot of unrealistic behaviors that's going on. We can go on story for days. And again, this is an in-house sister to sister conversation where, when you love people, you start checking them on their stuff. And in regards to something like that, I'm saying, girl, what are you talking about? What are you doing? What are you doing? Is that realistic? Sis, what else is on your list, honey? That makes absolutely no sense. That no human being wants to do. That if you have a child of a certain age, a male child of a certain age, he's not even doing that. But you want a grown man to do certain things. Stuff like that is what I'm talking about. You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about outlandish stuff that some of our sisters aren't realizing is outlandish, but they're making it qualifications for dating, but then wondering why we're single. Again, like I said, the month of February, we are going to talk, with our male counterparts each week, asking questions, deep diving into these topics, with our male counterparts, and we can definitely, go into what one side feels is wrong with the other side. But for today, just for today, sisters, I want us to talk to each other, and we're going to remove the veil of I've been building me up for years because of trauma, because of abuse, because Black women are the lowest on the totem pole. We know all of this. We know all of this. We know all of this. We know all of the abuse. We know all of the distrust for men. I say it all the time. Most Black women, unfortunately, don't trust most Black men. And I'm just going to go on the record to say that. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't because their daddy wasn't there. A lot of them don't because of what their uncle cousins did. A lot of them don't because of the relationships that they were in. A lot of them don't because we watched our brothers mess over good women. A lot of Black women just don't trust Black men for a lot of reasons. But for right now, if we can push all of that aside and just focus on us and our part in this mess of why African-American women and men are not getting together and dying alone or making choices to be alone indefinitely. If we can just focus on our part of it, that's honestly what it is I'm trying to do here. And like I said, asking yourself the question why I want to be in a relationship, checking your motives. Checking your motives. Are you healed enough to even want to be in a relationship? I felt like that deserved 3 silent blanks. Did y'all see me? Checking yourself and your motives to see if I'm healed enough to even want to be in a relationship. That's number 1. Number 2, what does a healthy relationship look like for you? And then number 3, checking this list that we all seem to have, because we not suffering no more, we not putting up with no more, we not lowering our standards no more, that whole spiel. But is what you have on your list actually realistic? I'm gonna get off of that because you know what, I could talk about that all night. I could talk about that all night, ladies. I really could, and I'm just not. And one of the reasons why I can talk about it is because I did make those mistakes myself. Y'all know we are very transparent on this show. We've always been very transparent on this show. We don't say one thing to try to point fingers and act like we wasn't a part of that too. Yeah, I was a part of that too. I had a list of, well, I would like for him to have this, and I would like for him to do this, and I would like for him to treat me this way. And I thought that if I did this, he would just automatically do that. And yeah, I was her. Girl. My next part that I want to discuss, only because time is just escaping me, is we only have 15 minutes left of the show. And like I said, we are going to continue this throughout the month of February too. But before I get to the next part, let me go back to the comments. Hold on, because I want to make sure everybody who had a comment said, I read them all. Eesh, a lot of people cross the line in relationship. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I read that one. Jamila said that's not even healthy. Ish, on the positive side, there are women who genuinely want to build a relationship and add a partner to their already complete life to complement it and grow in love and service to each other. Okay. Jamila, I think my list is very realistic. Girl, I think mine is too. I think mine is too. We will talk about that with the counterparts in February, though. Right? Aisha, a healthy relationship to me is 2 people coming together as their complete selves who love each other as they are now, but also nourish the growth of each other in every aspect of their lives. They establish what is important to them up front and check in to make sure they account for the natural growth each other experience. They respect, love, and support each other, complementing each other's movements while allowing space to develop. Girl, can you put that on a t-shirt or something? Like put that on a post or something. Cause I'm gonna read that again. Cause I love that. I love that. Ish says, a healthy relationship to me is two people coming together as their complete selves who love, that's healed, okay, as their complete selves, that's healed, that's not bringing, well, I'm doing this because that's what my mama and my daddy did and I don't know why, but I'm just doing it because that's all I know. That's not what that is. So it is their complete selves who love each other as they are now, but also nourish the growth of each other in every aspect of their lives, not just in the relationship, but every aspect of their lives. I love that. They establish what is important to them up front and check in to make sure they account for the natural growth each other experience. I love that. They respect, love, and support each other, complementing each other's movements while allowing space to develop. I swear for Christ, wait a minute. I think I'm about to copy and paste this. Can I go back in the comments when this show is over? I'm seriously going to copy and paste this, and I need to plaster this everywhere and like literally go through it because I really would want to talk about this detail for detail. Girl, your comment was just a whole show. Like, I think I'm going to build a whole show around dissecting what you just said. I love that. Mimi was laughing at something. She said, stop it. That means she has some, she was laughing at the young lady who wants to date and doesn't want nobody at her house, but wants people to come to her house. Yeah, I'm still confused, even though I had to tell it to y'all. She said that means she has some healing to do and she shouldn't be dating. Ish says she sounds confused. She may need to take some time to herself and really do an intake of what she wants and needs. Absolutely. Gaston said you need a real break from dating after 27-year marriage. You got to find yourself and not the person that's been married all that time. Thank you. Because at this point, all you're doing is you're trying to date to fix what happened in your marriage. Ooh. You're not dating that person for what that person can offer you. You're literally just dating that person to fix whatever happened in your marriage. Ooh, that's not fair. Aisha said, that's like saying I want a man to bring me chicken, but I'm vegan, so he better not bring me to my house. And Jamila said, exactly. She needs a complete break. Dating has changed so much. She has to learn herself and then learn how to date. And that is the segue, Jamila, as we're about to end the show in the next 10 minutes. That is the segue to my next point. And again, I have more and we're going to discuss them throughout the month of February. Hey, Denise, we still got a little more. We got about 10 minutes more. But I'm using Jamila's comment to segue. She said exactly, she needs a complete break. Dating has changed so much. Wait a minute. Wait. Dating has changed so much. She has to learn herself and then learn how to date. Where does the ego come from, ladies? What makes us, it's comical. What makes us think that after being in a relationship for 20 some odd years, we can just get out here and know exactly what we're doing? You could just get out here and master the dating world, that there are people who have struggled in it for 20 to 30 years at this point, but you just want to come out of this marriage and you are just going to get it right. Why? Because you just special? You just got to come out knowing everything? You want to know everything. And I'm going to use that ego thing across the board, right? I'm going to use that ego thing across the board. You know everything about marriage too. For those of us who are dating, you just know everything. Your ego makes you know something about something that you know nothing about. You just know everything about it. And so much so that this list of unrealistic qualifications that someone needs to have, you know that this list is going to work in a marriage. Where does that come from? Obviously, the basics. I mean, respect. Lauren said it best. Respect is just a minimum. You know what I mean? Obviously, the basics of respect and just treating somebody right, it is one thing. But these other unrealistic demands that my husband got to be there to get a pedicure with me every single week, because if not, and yes, I've heard that. I'm not exaggerating. He need to be able to have the certain kind of job that he need to be able to take off every single time I decide to go on vacation. He gotta. Well, I mean, you gotta marry a certain kind of man. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. Where does the ego come from, ladies? I'm talking to the ladies right now. Where does this ego come from? Does the ego come from hurt? Does the ego come from insecurity? How does this ego get so built up that you got a list of demands after being with somebody for 20 years, and now you just want to come out and master the dating world? Where's that come from? Somebody help me. Somebody help me. Where's that ego come from? Where's that ego come from that just because somebody was in a long-term relationship or married, you know everything? Where does that come from? Like everybody here has said, the dating world has changed. It has moved on without you because you were focused in another realm. What makes you think you know everything? Ish says, stop rushing into love because a man treats you halfway better than the last man. Oop. Women have lost value in themselves and settle for the bare minimum. They don't require men to be the kings they were born to be in their lives. Women have to accept love that values who they are, not diminishes it. And that goes back up to the comment that Dre said a little earlier. No matter how he said it, Dre said a little earlier where he mentioned the fact, y'all allow us to do everything we do. Is it an allowance? Is it that we are settling? And these are all topics that I want to discuss as time goes on. And like I said, I don't want to unfairly have these conversations without my male counterpart. But these are questions I want to ask. How much of this is allowance? How much of this is settling? How much of this is they just going to do whatever it is they're going to do and ain't nothing that we can do about it? How much of this is actually for the sake of this particular conversation? How much of this is us? How many more years are you going to date? How many more times are you going to jump? How many more relationships are you going to be in? When is it the right time? When is it like, do y'all see where I'm going with this? Because I'm going to be going with this from now until probably March. So do y'all see where I'm going with this? Ish says in the comments, take real inventory of where you are and who you really are. Look at the parts you hide from those around you too. Fix and heal and develop into your complete self before you add someone else into your life. Two broken people will compete at breaking each other. You can't fix him, he can't fix you. A broken person with a healed person will end up draining the healed person or worse. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. And again, unfortunately, we do only have 5 minutes left of the show, but all of you, everybody who is talking in the comments tonight, first and foremost, I thank you so much for that. And thank you for talking back to me and helping me to make this show and this topic interesting. And everything that all of you said, I want to address as the show goes on, in this particular series of love and relationships, in the African American community, because I feel like we at least have to ask the right questions in order to get to some of the right answers. And then maybe if we're having the conversations in our little groups here, maybe someone can share it and then share it and then share it. And you never know who gets healed. You never know someone who may not have been in a healthy relationship before. Something that we said or something that one of your comments says, can change the trajectory of their lives, their families, their futures. You just never know. But I feel like it's important to at least have the conversations. And I feel like it's at least important to have to ask those tough questions. And obviously one of the toughest questions, being a Black woman myself, is what is our part in this? What is our part in this? We know what they do, ladies. We know what they do. We could talk about that all day. We can run it down. We can write a book. We can run around the world and come back again. We know what they do. What are we doing? What are we doing and what are we not doing? What do we need to do to be better? What do we need to do to heal from some of the things that maybe they've done and some of the ideas or ideals that we have put in our heads ourselves? What do we need to do? What's our part in this too? That's my show, y'all. There'll be more, God willing. There will be more, as time goes on. So God willing, I will be here next week, same time, same place. Now, next week, I'll probably still be right here in my home office again as we close out the month of January. But for the month of February, my goal is to get back into the studio and behind the microphone because I love it there. And that is definitely my happy place. And I just want to make sure the coast is clear and everybody is safe. And I am back there. And my hope is that you guys will be back here each and every week and contributing to the conversations the way you guys have done tonight and for so long. And I love you guys for that. I love you guys for watching and I love you guys for listening. And God willing, we will all be back here and discussing these very tough conversations and hopefully healing, because that's the goal. The goal is to heal. I love you guys. See you soon. Jeff, take me away. Bye, everybody.